You're listening to Talk LFC Podcast, an independent podcast for Reds by Reds. Be sure to hit that follow button.
Good evening and welcome to Talk LFC Podcast. Today is Sunday, the 25th of September 2016, and this evening we'll be discussing the Demolition of Hull. We're an independent live podcast for Reds by Reds. We discuss everything Liverpool Football Club related. My name is John Rainey. This evening we have three guests, and we will have a fourth by the end of the show. We have Martin Mason, we have Kenneth Geraghty, and we have Stuart Griffin, and a little later on David Cooney will be joining us. He's currently driving home from work, or at least that's what he's telling me he's doing. On this episode, we'll be discussing the 5-1 victory over Hull City at Anfield on Saturday, and the ongoing saga between Mamadou, Sakho and Jurgen Klopp, as well as our Give a Fan a Chance campaign set up to get Alfie O'Leary to Anfield for the match against West Brom on October 22nd. Get involved with the show by following us on Spreaker.com. It's free and it's easy to sign up. Follow us on social media at Facebook.com/TalkLFC Podcast, Twitter.com/TalkLFC Podcast, and send in your questions or comments to us by email at talklfcpodcast@gmail.com. You can also ask us questions live in the chat if you signed up to Spreaker. Or if you'd like to advertise during the show, send us an email at talklfcpodcast.com and we'll send you a press pack. Now, that's the formalities out of the way. Good evening, gentlemen.
How you going, John?
Good evening, John.
Good.
Oh, good evening.
We might as well, I suppose, get started. And basically, I mentioned that we had Kenneth Geraghty on the show, and we've started a fundraising campaign to get Kenneth's uncle Alfie O'Leary to Anfield for October 22nd for the West Bromwich Albion game. We have a fundraising campaign currently active on GoFundMe. It's called Give a Fan a Chance, and we'd be delighted if people would be able to donate anything that they can. And if you're not in a position to donate, please share the link on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever social media you're active on, so that maybe somebody might be in a position to donate. So welcome to the show, Kenneth. Can you give us maybe a little bit of background information basically about Alfie?
Yeah, he's 3 weeks ago he was diagnosed with metastasis cancer. It's lung. He had to treat him basically, the brain, the liver, the lung. Tomorrow he's going to Luke's for his treatment. But I don't know how terminally ill he is, but I can only assume that by being hit with 3 different types of cancers in the one, that it's not looking good. Let's just say that. Now he's never actually been to Anfield.
Right.
I've been lots of times. It's not about me. I could go to Anfield. I get tickets anytime I want. He's like what Andy would said he was. He's an armchair supporter. He's not like I said this to you earlier, John. He's not like if Liverpool lose, I pick up a shoe and a fire on television. You know what I mean? That's because I just lose the bloody rag, and I go into a sulk for days. He's not that type of supporter. He's a Liverpool supporter. All his families are Liverpool supporters. He's never been. The idea was brought to me by Andy. Andy actually put the idea to me, which I thought was a brilliant idea. So, yeah, that's basically it. Really, I was down with him tonight. He's very frail. I don't want to say that this thing is a waste of time or anything, but I don't even know if he can fly. Because with the flying in the air and all, so he'd have to get medical certs and all. So I'd say the only option to get him over will be by the ferry. So
right.
That's really it. He is Liverpool supporter. I'd love to get him over. I mean, as we all know, the first match at Anfield, hair standing on the back of your neck.
Absolutely.
That's basically what I want him to experience. I'm not, he won't experience anything like it. And now with the new stand, with the increased capacity, Jesus, he'll probably, he'll probably be overwhelmed with the whole thing, and he'll probably have to sit him down. He probably won't he's never been to a match. That's basically it, really.
Sean is in the chat here, and he's just said, Kenneth, my heart goes out to you and your family. I
Cheers,
lost my
Sean,
aunt in
thanks.
February, and was this time last year I found out she was dying. It's a horrible time in our lives. Best of luck with this. And Sean was one of the first people to contribute.
Yeah, he did. I seen that. €100.
Campaign,
Thanks a million, Sean.
You know, it's much
And
appreciated.
just to let you know as well, if you end up getting a ferry or the plane, it doesn't matter either one. I'll pick you up and I'll take you to the ground myself.
Oh, cheers, Martin. That's
nice.
brilliant, man. Thanks a million.
Well, the ferry across, anyways, is absolutely brilliant because there's such a fantastic atmosphere on it, anyways. You know, because you get all the fans from Ireland going over to the match, so you know it's a great experience. And tell me, has Alfie family?
He has his wife Karen. He's got twins, Aoife, and his son Niall. And
Right.
his son Niall will be a big Liverpool supporter now.
And what age are the kids?
21, 22, and 24.
Right. Well, we've set a target of €2,000 for the fundraiser, and we are contacting the club as well to see if they can help in any way.
Right.
And we're going to reach out to some of the other fan groups as well, the likes of Spirit of Shankly and Spy and Cop, to see if maybe they might be able to pull some strings,
brilliant.
maybe to see if we can get some form of meet-up. So, you know, all going well, and hopefully he'll be fit to travel. You know, and we have Stuart Griffin on as well this evening. Stuart is a close friend of Kenneth's and also knows Alfie. So, Stuart, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Sean.
And you know Alfie as well, you do?
I don't know Alfie, John, no, but I know Kenneth for a long time.
Right.
And I know the whole situation. I know, nearly every detail of the situation that Alfie is in at the moment.
Yeah.
It's really, really hard to listen to.
It is. It's tough. It is tough. All right. And you're in Cork, Alfie, is it? Or sorry, Stuart.
Yeah, I'm in Cork. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think I mentioned this, Kenneth. You're in Wicklow, isn't it?
I'm in Wicklow, but I'm actually a Clare man.
Oh, you're a Clare man. All right. Okay.
Yeah, because they fired him out of Clare.
Yeah. yeah. They fired me out of Clare. Yeah.
Martin is absolutely.
He's up in Wicklow with all the sheep and goats up there now.
We have a few stories coming out here. Martin is absolutely confused here with all the Irish accents. He doesn't know what the hell
I
is
don't
going on.
understand the word you're saying. I'm going to look at the chat and then translate it to myself. Sheep.
We need to slow down for you.
I knew this Skype call would go sideways eventually.
We'll try and
glad Greg's not on as well.
Yeah, we'll try and slow down for you, Martin.
Well,
I can understand you fine.
We're going to.
That's relief. It's just Stuart then.
You understood the conversation we had before we went live, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh well.
I think I was singing Family Guy's song now.
That was one of the things. Yeah.
Family Guy.
Yeah.
But as I said, we'll be getting David Cooney on later on, so that's another man to wreck Martin's head.
Is there anything that I can do? Anyone got any advice what I can do to try and raise funds here in Wicklow for him? Because I don't normally do this. I know Andy does a lot of charity work, so is there anything that I could be doing?
Well, I tell you the truth, Kenneth, because I was actually going to say this to you afterwards. Is the best thing to do at the moment is probably if you're part of any Liverpool supporters group or anything in Wicklow, or even if you still have contacts back in Clare, is even just to get them to share the Facebook campaign. Andy, then, you could speak to Andy, because you said there already, Andy is very involved in charity work and does a lot of fundraising, so, he would be the man to talk to about this. Now, I know, and Sean said you could do a local fundraiser as well, if you wanted to. And I think is your uncle's wife, is she doing some kind of fundraiser herself?
But she's just too busy at the moment, John. Just
I can understand that. Yeah.
He's just starting his treatment now tomorrow, so.
Yeah. And you're saying that's in St. Luke's, is it?
It's in Luke's, in Rackgar. They're going to start sapping him radiotherapy, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, 3:30.
Right.
So.
Okay. And how long is that course of treatment then?
He's only starting it tomorrow, but
Right.
the thing is, he was diagnosed 3 weeks ago, so it'll give you an idea of how quickly they're moving on it, because he has it in 3 areas of his body.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know how. I don't know how much he's going to be up to the travelling, but I know for a fact that the airport could be out, because I don't think they'll sign him, because he's got severe pressure on his brain at the moment.
Right.
So
if I can give you any advice as well, my stepfather, he went through cancer and everything himself. He had throat cancer, gullet cancer, stomach cancer, everything. And the doctors he said to him, he'd be lucky if he lasted 3 months. He's like 4 years on now, and that's all because we are positive, and he was positive within himself. And so, fingers crossed, there's always a silver cloud, there's always hope there for everyone. And I've got my fingers crossed because I've been through it. I've been through it with my family, so I know how he's feeling. So my heart's all out there for you as well.
Cheers, Martin. Thanks.
Yeah. Sean is just saying here as well that he's contacted the Liverpool Echo and some former players as well. So, there's lots of people rooting for him. And the thing about it is, look, I'm no doctor or anything like that, but as Martin said there, sometimes that type of positive thinking and especially having something to look forward to as well can kind of spur people on, and so yeah.
I know that I had 2 family members who both had cancer, and but I mean, well, one of them was my grandmother, the other was my aunt. My aunt very long, but my grandmother lasted for 8 or 9 years. She had a heart condition as well, but it was the cancer that got her in the end.
Yeah. Well, I've put the link. What I've done is I've put the link into the chat for the GoFundMe page. And what I'll do is I'll put them into the show description afterwards as well, just so that it's there for people to, if they feel they want to contribute. And as I said, if you can contribute, fantastic. If not, we do ask that you please share the campaign with all of your friends. There maybe somebody might be in a position to contribute elsewhere. So please share it far and wide. And we do hope that we'll be able to get Alfie over to see and it's the West Bromwich Albion game on October 22nd in Anfield. So hopefully we'll have lots to report on that, and we'll have some nice photographs and maybe even a little video to put on the Facebook page as well to show him enjoying himself over there.
Yeah.
So if I was to raise certain funds, then John, I just send it to you guys to the fundraiser, is it?
Well, no. What you could do is, if you want to raise money separately yourself, we're going to try and continue to raise as much as we can, and then when we have a final tally, whatever you've raised, if you want to say, well, with that I'll pay for X and Y, and then with the balance that maybe we have, we'll pay for other other things. So we touch base on that kind of. The plan is to finish up the fundraiser around about the 12th of October, because it takes about a week to release the funds from the fundraising campaign, and so we'll liaise closer to the time. So that's the situation. And as I said already, if anybody is in a position to contribute, please contribute to it. I've put the link in the chat. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just a quick question on this. I know we're trying to raise 2,000. Is it pound or euros that we're doing? It doesn't make no difference what it is.
Yeah.
Right? But can I just ask how many people will be travelling over as well? Because I'm quite willing to go to Anfield and go and buy this guy his ticket. Out of all of the put the raised money aside, I'm quite happy to go and buy him his ticket.
Well, the the plan, what myself and Andy discussed today, and Kenneth, I think Andy has discussed this with you as well, is that if the type of ticket we'd like to buy would be one of the corporate hospitality tickets, so that he gets the full experience, and we would like, as I said, we're going to be discussing something with the club as well to see maybe if we can maybe get a meet and greet with some of the players and Kenny Dalglish, get a shirt and get it signed or whatever, to try and give the full match day experience. Now, obviously, that's going to be dependent on the amount of money we can raise.
For me,
So if it was a thing. If it was a thing you were going to go and get the ticket, corporate tickets are around €200, which is around, I think it's about £170, something like that. Yeah. So, and I think it's yourself, Kenneth, and Alfie going over, so it would just be the two of you, is it?
Yeah, it is. You see, I'd said to Andy, like, there's a guy here in Ireland, like, I can get tickets to any of the Liverpool matches. Like, there's no problem getting, like, I said this to Andy, but Andy said, no, he said, that's no good. He said, you want to get him a VIP? Like, I can get, like, worst case scenario, I said to him, I can actually get him Liverpool tickets. Like, I have a guy here, his name was Michael Walker, and the story broke with him, and he said to me, he said, Kenneth, I can get you tickets. Any ticket you want, you name it, for you and Alfie. So it's not so much ticket, it's just when Andy came back to me then, he inboxed me back, and he said, Kenneth, it's like you said, John. He give him the whole VIP thing. So I said, okay. I didn't want to tread on Andy's toes, which is what Andy wanted to do. So worst case scenario, like it's like Martin said, just getting just a normal ticket wouldn't be a problem. But obviously getting the corporate tickets is probably a little bit more.
Yeah, I didn't know that you were going for the full experience. So that's fine. I totally understand that.
That's not what.
It's an option. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's a thing, I think the best way to do it is, depending on the amount that we raised. So when we get to when we get to €400, maybe buy the match tickets first, and then we could work that way, because the tickets are going to be important. I think, to try and get them as soon as we can get them, and then maybe we can kind of do it in phases after that. Then get the travel and then the accommodation and what have you. Now, again, as you said, it's all dependent on what mode of transport that Alfie will actually be able to take too. So, so again, as I said, it's something that we kind of work on as we're going on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sean has made a couple of good suggestions here too. Now, he said, and I think, Martin, you've already contacted Dunk at Cop Talk. Sean said he's going to do it as well, and Sean said maybe if you even got the local papers to do something about it, get a bit of weight behind it, because sometimes local media.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I never thought of that.
And the local support is generally the best type of support you can get too, because the local people who know them would be more inclined to help out,
Yeah,
definitely, yeah.
And Sean is saying here as well that yourself and himself have a mutual friend, so you can get in touch if you wanted to talk with him afterwards, and I'll give you Sean's details afterwards.
Yeah, I have Sean's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
it's just be very interesting to listen to him about the FSG.
John comes out with some very, very interesting comments, and
I'm telling you,
Sean is an interesting character.
Yes. Now, but see, the thing about it is, what a lot of people don't realise is that everything that Sean is telling is true. And it's a pity that people don't see what's going on in the background, and a lot of people don't pay attention of the actual running of the club. They tend to concentrate more on the on-field side of things. So I think it's important that everybody knows what's going on in the background. And for those of you who don't know Sean O'Leary is involved with Fenway We Come Not to Pay, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So if you want to go over and give the lads there a follow.
Sean is a very good friend of a very good friend. Stephen Waldron is a very good friend of mine.
Right.
Because he inboxed me. Stephen Waldron will be a very, very good friend of mine. Same as Stuart. But I didn't know that Sean was very good friends with Stephen as well. That's how I came to know Sean. I've watched these links on the whole FSG thing, and
yes,
I know him and Andy are fighting the campaign at the moment against FSG, and I think there was one
Well, I
time
was
there.
alone.
I was on something like 100 and what was I on, Stuart? 120 Liverpool groups, was it?
Yeah, at one stage I think Ken you were.
Jesus, it got messy. Some of the stuff that was going up with FSG, like, but I backed them. I backed them all the way. I'm not just saying it. Like,
Yeah.
Andy and Sean will be Stuart and tell you. I actually admire what they're doing because ballsy is the words I would use.
It's not everybody who put themselves out.
Not everyone will put themselves out and do what they.
I mean, as Kenneth said, they are sticking their neck out.
Yeah.
They are putting their foot down and saying they want the FSG out.
You also have
because they can see the carry on that's going on.
Also have Greg Kieran's and Lee Price as well, part of that group.
Is Lee Price part of it? Is he?
He is, yeah. He's part of the Fenway coming up today.
Yeah.
All right.
Got me as your lone wolf who went to the Melwood.
And of course yourself, the legend that is Martin Mason, the legend of Melwood, as you said. But anyway, so we'll move on and talk about Saturday's game against Hull City. Did you all see the match?
Domination.
I didn't, but I saw the highlights.
It was an impressive performance, I have to say.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
Been better than a 4-1 now. I would have had me 50 quid.
I saw your photo. Yeah. What was it? 16-1.
Yeah. Well, on that, I had the coupon as well going, and if I had just had 3 more goals, I would have got 16 grand for an accumulator.
Oh my God. That was oh man!
Yeah, well, it all happened in she come on as well, so I couldn't get my leg over. So
just as well I put it down as explicit.
50 quid ring me fucking nuts.
I was waiting for a comment like that to come out. Oh yeah.
Would you not do what Dunk does and just do the plus? Is it plus 2.5 goals? I'm not a gambler, so I have no idea. So.
I've been going to the same book for 4 years and I've never won a bet, mate.
I'd say they'd love to see you coming.
Oh my God.
Be careful what you're saying because my missus is listening in on the link. So
Hello, Deborah.
Kenneth has to be very, very careful.
You're live. They have you on there. Where are you going? My car's going.
Sorry?
No, I was just talking to the missus. Sorry, guys.
All right, good. But anyways, yeah. So Liverpool played Hull on Saturday, and they won 5-1. Adam Lallana scored after 17 minutes. James Milner then converted a penalty on 30 minutes. Mane scored on 36 minutes. Coutinho on 52 minutes, and then Milner with another penalty on 71 minutes. The Hull goal scorer was Myler on 51 minutes. Just some of the match stats. We had 32 attempts on goal compared to Hull's 2. We had 12 on target compared to Hull's 1. We had 13 corners compared to Hull's 2, of which they scored their one chance, and it was from a corner. We had 8 fouls each. We had 1 yellow card. Hull had 2, and of course they had Ahmed El Mahandi sent off in 28 minutes. And we had 74% of the possession. It was a really, really impressive performance, in my opinion. I thought we were at them from the get-go. And it was, as I said in my match review, it was a little bit slow to start off. It looked like that they were going to try and play the same ploy that Burnley played. Just try and sit in there and try and soak up the pressure. But it didn't last for very long. You know, but Lallana's goal was...
if we beat Swansea, Ryan Giggs is going to come into management, isn't he?
Into Swansea, is it?
Yeah, we all saw that one. Oh my God, shocker!
I thought he was happy at United.
He's not even at United. He got ditched off.
Just shows how much attention I paid to Man United. He left, I suppose, when what's his face left.
Yeah, he spat his dummy out, didn't he? Because Mourinho got the job. The fucking typical Welsh.
Yeah, he did actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at I don't know. He hasn't a lot of managerial experience. I can't understand these managers that get straight into Premier League sides with no experience. It happened with Roy Keane as well, and it didn't exactly work out, you know.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. Look at Klopp. He's doing it straight into management, into Premier League management, and he's doing all right, isn't he?
yeah, but he has a bit of pedigree there. He started off with Mainz, like he played for Mainz, and then he came in and took them up to the Bundesliga, and he moved on then to Dortmund. So he has a bit of experience. He started in the lower leagues.
I know after that game, the whole game, the bookies slashed us down, didn't he, to second favourites behind City.
That's right, yeah. So. I think it's there's a lot of people kind of hyping us up for the title challenge now, but it's we're only 6 games in. I think there's a long way to go.
We've been down that road before.
Yeah, I said that tonight on our group. I said it's far too early to be talking about going for the title.
Yeah.
Look at last season.
We're only 6 games in, so it's a long way to go yet.
We've made the best start to the season in I think it's 2002 or something like that. I can't remember the exact year.
Something like that. 7 years or something.
Yeah. Sorry, Martin, you were saying there?
Yeah, look at last season. City won 10 on the spin, didn't he? Then Liverpool played them and beat them. Look what they're doing again this season. Now they played 8. Liverpool are going to be the first team to smash City off their perch.
I said that. I said that to Stuart. 10-1, Liverpool will be the first team to beat City.
Yeah.
If you look at a good record.
I looked at the City match. The amount of gaps that they left against Swansea was unreal.
Yeah.
I thought Swansea were the better team, to be fair.
Yeah, the 3-1 didn't reflect it at all.
I think the only issue we'll have with them, no more than them with us, is that we leak goals.
Our defence is still a problem.
I think it's a bit surer now than it was, though, because the goal that we conceded yesterday, I think, you couldn't really apportion a lot of blame for that. Well, whatever about the defender, but certainly Karius. I think he didn't really have much chance of stopping it because it was an absolute bullet from the second it left your man's foot.
The
guy Matip, Jesus, man, what a steal he was.
I'm telling you.
What a steal.
He has major talent.
For sure, and he has great composure on the ball. You've seen him a couple of stages yesterday where he was put under pressure by the Hull attack, and he was able to take a touch, control it, and pick a pass without any trouble whatsoever. And as I said before, anytime Sakho did that, you'd swear his legs were falling from under him. He looked like a spider. His legs were moving that much, But,
don't like Sakho as a defender, but I maybe it's just me. I think he's decent. But...
Oh, he is a good defender, yeah. What were you saying, Martin?
Sorry, mate. I'm gonna have to go in a sec, but I just need to. Can I? Right, I've just had a message off Stephen. He's just shouted out. Said to me, "Where's me shout out? You cunt."
Oh, did I not? Did I not mention it? Oh, Jesus! I knew I was going to be annihilated.
All I need to say here is, right. You'll have to watch the links on below because this little fucker's going to come back with something here because I know his type. Like, this man's just come from Amsterdam and now he's fucked off over to Colombia. Right. So on that note, Stephen, I hope your head's wrecked, lad. Now I'm going to have to say goodnight because I'm getting the look.
That'll do, Martin.
So listen, boys. I will try my hardest. If I've got any extra pennies, mate, I will put it into for you. And I hope all the best for you. It was lovely chatting to you.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, man.
Cheers, Martin.
Good night, boys.
Cheers.
John, are you going to drop me off this call?
Yeah, I'll cut you.
Take care. All the best.
So that's Martin gone now. But I can't believe I forgot to mention Stephen because he's the newest. He's Stephen Freeman. He's our newest. Member of the admin team, and he's doing great work in the background. And I do have to apologise, Stephen. I meant to give you a shout out earlier on, but there's a lot of pressure on me here in this podcast, so I completely slipped my mind. But I do apologise. But no, Stephen is a legend. He's been messaging me, and he's been doing a lot of work on the page as well. So we're hoping to get him on at some point. He said we're going to have to put an extra language filter on it, though, to get him on, because he has no control verbally, according to what he told me. So
that would be an eventful call.
I'm telling you. But just some of the talking points from the match was one of the first things I noticed, and this has become kind of, even the TV is starting to take note of this now. I heard a couple of people at the games talking about it first. But I noticed for the first time the last days that the coverage, the TV company that were covering it actually showed it too, is Klopp now stands on the halfway line watching the opposition do their warm-up before the match.
Yeah, I know, yeah, that he done that last year.
And he just stares them down.
Yeah, he done that last year, and I think I can't think of the game it was in. One of the managers talked, said, which game was it last year? He done the same thing. He stood on the halfway line and he stared at the opposite. I think he intimidated him, did he?
But that seems to be his ploy. Now, I don't know what. It could be a few things. It could be that he's looking at their warm-up routine and seeing if he can learn anything from it. Or maybe it's just a complete psych.
Yeah.
You know.
How good is Lallana though this year? Like, in all fairness, like, I know Firmino, Coutinho are playing out of skin.
Lallana is a totally change.
What has he done to Lallana? I mean, Lallana just looks to me like he could beat anyone on the planet at the moment.
Yeah, he's it's like he's thriving under Klopp's guidance. He's a completely different player, without a doubt.
Okay.
You know, he didn't have much end product last year, I thought. You know, he was great at beating a man, but he didn't score that many goals. And I think he has 3 scored already.
Yeah.
This year, you know, so that's already a good start, you know.
Of all the players that were there before Klopp arrived, he's definitely the one I think that is transformed.
Yeah, and Klopp does have a soft spot for him as well.
He does seem to have, yeah.
And as well as that, the selection of Karius was a big talking point last week as well. In the fact that, you know, he got a start against Derby in the cup game during midweek, and a lot of people were wondering whether or not he'd be kept between the posts. And Klopp kind of stuck with him. I thought he had a quiet enough game, to be honest with you. He didn't have a lot to do.
Never a lot to do, no.
You know. But one thing I do notice about him is, and I've mentioned this a few times before, is distribution. You know, he has an eye for a pass the same way Pepe Reina had. You know, and he doesn't panic under pressure either, which was evident in the chip that he played across Darren Bent, I think, during the Derby game. But one of the things that scares the hell out of me is his starting position. You know, he plays in the defensive midfield position for most of the game, which is, you know, it's scary.
Yeah.
Where do we stand on Daniel Sturridge now? So, like Karius, there seems to be he's a bit of a mixed bag at the moment. Like, some people are saying that he's going to leave in January and stuff, like, you know. And I don't know, like, what's the story with Sturridge? He's not a first team starter now anymore, is he?
No, he's not. And to be honest with you,
I can't see him staying, Ken. To be honest,
no, not if he's not being selected.
Be a first team starter.
Yeah.
I honestly can't see him staying.
And like this time last year, you know, I would have said, Jesus, we can't lose. We can't lose.
Sturridge
because
he's and to be honest with you now, you know, if we did lose him, you know, I don't think we'd suffer too badly, because that's dependent on
50-50 on it, whether we would be.
How much would he fetch on the market?
Losing, like,
with his injuries?
I think if fit Sturridge, and he is fit at the moment, he is and has proven that he can get 25-30 goals a season.
Yeah.
So, you know, you look at the price range for that, and especially since the TV money came in and basically inflated all the transfer prices, I'd say you could be looking at anywhere about 30 to 40 million.
For Sturridge.
For Sturridge, yeah. And I think we should
definitely
expect
get between 25 anyway. We'll definitely get 25 from, I'd say.
Yeah.
Stephen Freeman is saying here that Lallana last year was shocking. Same with Hendo.
Yeah, he was. I agree with him.
He was under Rodgers last season.
Rodgers wasn't with us last season. It was Klopp.
Sorry, not fucking Rodgers. Under Klopp last season, he was terrible.
And he was saying that Lallana was England's best player at the Euros by a mile, and he just continued playing great.
I agree with that.
And he said, I'm also shocked that Hendo has manned up. But Henderson he's like a man possessed now. Like, you watch him in a game.
Oh, Henderson and Lallana, whatever's happened with Henderson and Lallana, I don't even know.
I know, it's great to see. And I think that's come under, I think Klopp has kind of given them more confidence You know, and I think they've seen that his philosophy works, so they're kind of they're buying into the philosophy a lot more. Yeah. And one of the unsung heroes at the moment, not a lot of people are kind of talking much about him, is Gini Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
Like the work rate he puts in during a game. He was the result. He was the result of more turnovers during the game on Saturday, because every time the ball that Hull had the ball, he was in tackling in the midfield, and he retained possession a good few times. You know, like his work rate is phenomenal. He may not have scored yet, but you know he is makes a huge contribution to the game. You know,
it says a lot when Chan can't even get in the side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That tells you what Klopp is doing now at the moment. So, and Origi as well is just another brilliant option to have on the bench as well. So
yeah.
Definitely.
What I'm going to do, lads, is I'm going to play Jurgen Klopp's after-match interview, and what we'll do is we'll play that, and then we'll come back, and hopefully we'll have David Cooney on the line as well.
Right, no bother, John.
Jurgen, I'm sure you're delighted with your team's performance today. 5 goals, another win.
Yeah, and a brilliant performance in the first half, especially. We played really the football we had to play against Hull. We saw in the first few minutes with each, they started pretty confident with their counter attacks, and it was quite impressive. And when we analyze about them, it was really, yeah, of course. And we are still something like new in England, so on a few teams, especially the teams they promote to the Premier League, we learn now more about them. And when we watch them, that's real quality, that's real football playing side. And so we had to play in possession like we did. Really patient, never lost the direction, always greedy on the goal, all that stuff. But then when they win the ball, we have to be really, really consequent and kind of positive, aggressive in the counter-pressing situations. And that was brilliant, how we won the balls back. That was really impressive. And so that gave Hull another opportunity to create something or build up a little bit of confidence or more confidence in his game. So first half, we decided the game, if you want. And second half was not exciting anymore, but still nice football, adult football, serious football, professional, and that's all what I want to see. So for today, all good.
It was good to watch, and you're getting goals from all areas. It seems to be the Liverpool way at the moment. Anybody is capable of scoring a goal and creating opportunities.
We need this. We need this kind of. I've absolutely no problem when players are selfish on the pitch, because you need these players who are decisive in the right moment, and you cannot, if you are alone in front of the goal, you cannot look. Is there anybody I could give the ball? So you need to be, but we need this kind of unselfishness too. That we are really ready to play the most simple passes until we have to take a little bit of risk and then move in the smallest spaces in and around the box. And be there and be difficult to defend. And so, today it worked pretty well out, and all good for today.
It was tough for Hull, even at 1-0. Then they're down to 10 men. But then it almost became a training ground exercise for you, because obviously they withdrew even further and made it difficult for you to try and break them down.
Yeah, to be honest, I saw not the biggest difference between there were no really. Second half, we gave them a few spaces. That's normal. You lose a bit of concentration. I could stand here and say now, how can we do this? And it's not allowed. But I was a player myself, and I know things like this happen, so that's not a big issue. But I couldn't see the biggest difference between 11 and 10. So because I did really well, they fighted really passionate, and that's good. But yeah, I think it became a little bit more difficult because we lost a little bit of the 100% concentration, and that's all. But Hull, really a good side, and really concentrated in a very difficult game for them. I like it to see that the whole managing, coaching staff outside were really in the game. Not nobody was frustrated. They took it like it was. It's only one game, nothing else. For us, only one game. For them, only one game. So take the experience, use it, and do it next time better.
So Klopp is always to do it next time better. That's a good philosophy from a manager. He's always looking to improve on a match day performance. And to be honest, I don't think there's much you could have done to improve on a 5-1 victory. But hey, I would have liked to see more goals yesterday.
Could have been 8-1.
It probably should have been and could have been. Now we've been joined by David Cooney, who's after bringing us some fantastic news. David, do you want to say what the news is?
Yeah, no problem. So the tickets for the hospitality tickets that we're looking for a mate of mine could give me 2 of them for the main stand, the new main stand, for the Carlsberg dugout. So you could enter the game 4 hours before and stay 4 hours after the game. And just free food and drink with these tickets. And as I said, I'll cover one, so we just have to make up for the other one.
That's extremely generous of you, David. Are you going to be safe enough, Kenneth, to be allowed in with free drink for 8 hours? Because the stories I'm hearing, I don't know.
The answer to that, John, is a definite no.
Well, so
all I'll say is keep them out of the hospitality bar.
Well, that's fantastic news, David. It's great that we've at least secured the tickets. And
yeah,
that
they're secured.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of one of our biggest worries was that would we be able to secure tickets? I think we're still going to contact the club anyways and see what they can do, because I think we need to see if we can get some kind of a meet and greet and what have you as well. So it's starting to come together, Kenneth. So
let's show what to say, boys. Liverpool fans, they are the best.
Oh, without a doubt, and there is truth in the adage that you never walk alone.
Brilliant. Listen, thanks very much, David. Appreciate that.
No problem.
What we do, we were just discussing the match there, David, and what I was going to do is I was going to move on quickly just to some of the other stories that were in the news this week. Was one of them was Mamadou Sakho's comments on Snapchat would have been the early hours of Saturday morning. He went on Snapchat at I think it was about 1:10 in the morning, and I'll read out the comments that he said. He put up 5 different Snapchat things. I think that's what you call them. I'm not on Snapchat, so I wouldn't have a clue. And I'm going to read it out the way he's typed it. So he said, "Now it's 3 weeks. I am fit to play games. They don't want me to play with Segonde, which is the second team or the under 23s. LOL. Still working hard like Scouse soldier. Still not talking because I want to speak on the pitch." Now, I think he's after talking there. But anyways, "I will speak soon for the people who support me and don't understand the situation. Still happy to live in my Liverpool country with my family. Hope to have chance to play soon to give my best, like I try to do always. I accept my situation, but I cannot accept the lie. The fans deserve to know the truth. Thanks for your support. 6 months, stay quiet. Have good night, everybody. You'll never walk alone." So what do you make of that?
He must have been on the beer, I'd say.
I would have a sneaky suspicion.
Oh, sorry, John. I missed who that was actually from.
That was from Mamadou Sakho.
Oh, Sakho.
Yeah, he posted that on Snapchat on Saturday morning, Saturday morning.
Maybe Kenneth is right about that. It could have been on the beer, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think he's going to rue that, because I have a sneaky suspicion that's the end of his Liverpool career.
Yeah, he's gone. All the groups are saying he's gone. I mean...
Yeah, I honestly think that he has signed his own exit contract.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
That Klopp is a manager who isn't going to mess around or leave him be messed around. So
I'd love to know what's going on, but I suppose we probably won't find out exactly what happened until some of the rights are booked in 10 or 15 years' time,
John?
Yes?
Doesn't it kind of remind you of the Torres thing when Torres left? He said the fans don't know the truth.
Yes.
And that's
same
FSG
thing.
just took over as well.
Yeah.
So is it something that FSG are doing that we don't know about? Because secrets there. What secrets are they holding from us? They don't tell us much, do they?
You never know, because I remember around the Torres thing, a lot of fans blame Torres for it as if he wanted to go. And I think that a lot of that stemmed from when Michael Owen left, the way he left the club, and people assumed that it was the same situation around Torres. The fact that he left pretty late in the transfer window, and he did get a lot of stick. Torres, and one of the things that I was delighted to see when he came back and played the Steven Gerrard testimonial that time was that the welcome that he got from the fans, I thought was brilliant. I hated to see Torres leave, but what I was trying to get to from that was that, again, everybody blamed Torres at the time, but little did we realise that it wasn't Torres at all that instigated the move, that he was given assurances.
Profit.
He was given assurances. You know, he was told that he would be staying, and then all of a sudden he was gone. You know, and he found out, I think, as well, that they had been talking to Chelsea behind his back. So again, you can never know what's going on behind closed doors. But just looking at the surface and what we can see on the surface, it certainly looks like Mamadou Sakho has been a very bold boy. And, you know, you have the failed drugs test. I think that's probably blotted his copybook, first of all, regardless of whether he was guilty or innocent. Because these weight, you know, these slimming things, whatever they are, you know, why would you need to take them? Now, I know he had an issue with his weight as well at PSG. They gave him a bit of pressure, and Rodgers put him under a bit of pressure as well. But he is. It seems he's disruptive. I don't know if any of you seen the pre-season tour footage in America when Klopp was giving an interview and Sakho butted in on it, and you could tell Klopp was pissed about it.
That was the start of it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say one thing about Sakho. He's a complex soul. That's what he is. He's just an out-and-out complex. Someone put up a link about all the trouble that he had before he came to Liverpool. Yeah. And I never knew any of that stuff until he came to Liverpool. So I think he's a good defender, but the thing is with Sakho, when he gets on the ball, my heart just starts coming out of my chest. I'm just thinking, oh Jesus, what's he going to do here? Is he going to slip on the ball? Is he going to fall on his ass? Because he doesn't give me... I don't have the same thing as what I do with Matip. When he gets on the ball, I don't see anything. I just see this guy just taking 3 or 4 players out of it. Like,
yeah.
The other thing about Torres is, what disappointed me about Torres was, one thing that killed me when he left was, I really wanted him to see him playing with Suarez. I remember when we signed Suarez, I said, Jesus, if only we had the 2 of them up front.
Yeah, well, initially they were supposed to play together. He was bought to play alongside Torres. Yeah, well, that was the initial plan. And actually, when they were negotiating for Suarez, I remember at the time thinking, Jesus, we're going to lose this guy if they don't stop messing about. Because you know. But
John.
Yeah, David. Yeah.
John, it kind of reminds you of the whole Rain and Mignolet thing as well, wouldn't it? Like, Mignolet was brought in to face Reina for the number 1 spot, but we shipped out Reina because his wage was too high.
Yeah, that had a lot to do with same with Daniel Agger. Very same with Daniel Agger. These players were pretty much sidelined.
The 50 million price tag, FSG saw that and said, "Sure, we take that." Yeah. And that was the only reason we sold Torres. It's because they were getting the 50 million.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. But I know Torres was off form that time, but I think Suarez and Torres would have been a lethal partnership.
Torres kind of signed his own exit though towards the end, John. When you think back, Torres saw that Abramovich had come in and said that he wanted him. So towards the end in the last number of months, I always felt Torres wanted out and wanted to go, saw the bright lights of West London and the celebrity lifestyle up there and all that kind of thing. So had no more interest in the team.
London is always a head turner for players anyway. But you see, the thing with Torres was given assurances by the club that he was going nowhere. And then he heard from somebody at Chelsea that they were interested in him and that Liverpool were talking, and that's where it all stemmed from, you know.
They flew a chopper down from him, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, they flew a chopper down that evening. I was shocked when he left. Don't get me wrong, when we signed Suarez, I remember I came in from work and I seen we signed him. No word of a lie, I literally jumped up off the chair and I done 2 fist pumps.
Yeah.
And I knew straight away, I said, this guy is going to kill the Premiership. And I was never sure about anything. And when he started scoring the goals, and the goals he started scoring, I just kept thinking, Jesus, what if we'd have had Torres with him as well?
Imagine, and Stevie G supplying the 2 of them.
And Stevie G supplying the 2 of them. Fucking hell,
that attack would have been unbelievable. That attack probably would have been the best in the Premier League if the 2 of them had been...
Without a shadow of a doubt. Stephen Freeman is saying here in the chat that he didn't see much wrong really with what was done on the LFC TV, and he said that he was given a camera to do a vlog. He was, but it was what happened before the vlog, because He had arrived late to training. He was late to the airport. Apparently, he had caused a bit of trouble in the hotel as well. So, and I think the interrupting the interview was the last straw for Klopp. That was pretty much, I'd say, within hours of that coming out, he was on his way home.
He is. He is going to go in January. But I suppose the next question is now, what's he going to fetch in January?
Well, we paid. What did we pay for him? 20 million or something. 25 million we paid.
We didn't pay that for Sakho, did we?
We paid big money for him, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, 20, I think.
And to be honest with you, I don't know if we get it, but I don't think Klopp would care. I'd say he just wants him gone at this stage, because my feeling on it is that Klopp thinks he's a disruptive force, and he'd be similar to Balotelli. But look at, I don't know, we're not privy to that sort of information. We can only look and see what it looks like from the outside.
From the outside, yeah.
Yeah.
Something else I wanted to touch on as well was the Jerry McIver applause, or McIver applause on 27 minutes, which I thought was a nice touch. For those of you who don't know, and I'm sure there's very few people who don't, Jerry ran the Hillsborough Justice Campaign shop in Liverpool for free for many years.
I heard about this. Yeah.
He was persuaded to do it by his friend Ricky Tomlinson. He died in July, aged 81. And Sheila Coleman, the spokesperson for the Hillsborough Justice Campaign, said, "I'm personally heartbroken by the death of Jerry McIver, who has been a friend from the beginning of the Hillsborough Justice Campaign in 1998. Undoubtedly, Jerry was the backbone of the Hillsborough Justice Campaign. The campaign would not have been sustained over such a long period of time without the daily efforts of Jerry to open up the campaign shop and giving his time to people for no money. Jerry epitomised the original thinking of the Hillsborough Justice Campaign, that it's important to look after one another and vital you look after your own. Many Hillsborough survivors benefited from the personal and unique support Jerry gave to them. It's no exaggeration to say he will be mourned across the globe and wherever people know about Hillsborough." And one of the things that the reason that that applause was on 27 minutes is that the club refused to recognise him or recognise his work, which I thought was terrible.
I was on a link, and the club actually got crucified for that.
Yeah. Did you see the letter they sent out?
I did. I seen the letter, and I seen what was said, and the whole. I mean, some Liverpool fans got on there, and I won't get into it, but Jesus, some of the things that were said about the club. I mean, this goes back to FSG again. I take it, does this?
I don't know about FSG. I think this is more the PR campaign. Now, I can half see where they're saying, I don't want to be slated for this, but you could see what they were trying to say in their letter, that that they recognise that the families and that campaign as being the main point of contact for the club with the Hillsborough families. Yeah. I could kind of half see it, but they could have handled it better, and it wouldn't have cost them anything to give them a little bit of recognition. Do you know what I mean? I thought it was so badly handled, and FSG, who are usually the kings of PR, I think fouled the ball big time on this one. They definitely could have handled it a lot better, Debbie Wilson is in the chat.
Jesus.
Kenneth's partner, and she's saying from the bottom of her heart she truly appreciates what we're doing for his uncle Alfie. And look, we're delighted to help Debbie and anything that we can do.
Sorry, do you mind I put across you there? David, do you mind I ask, where are you from? Are you from Liverpool? Is it?
No, I'm from Cork.
Oh, you're from Cork as well?
Yeah.
I told you the Cork men were taking over the conversation.
All right, you better
Just another thing in regards to the tickets and where the carpet. There's actually past players in the Carlsberg dugout at half time and before the game. That's where they hang about. So hopefully we can get a few of them to get pictures and stuff like that with.
Yeah, brilliant.
Alfie.
And maybe we get a Liverpool jersey, maybe that they could sign.
Hopefully we can get them over there, guys. That's the thing,
Well, look, at the power of positive thought, as we mentioned earlier.
That is the main maybe stumbling block, or the main thing that Alfie and the family need to achieve at this time, John, is to actually get Alfie from his home to Liverpool, you know, in his present state, as Kenneth explained earlier on.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get.
Well, hopefully he will be.
Yeah.
It's got all going well that he will be able for the trip, you know.
Yeah.
What part of Cork are you from, David?
I think David is his head turned there from something. Kenneth was asking what part of Cork are you from?
Douglas area.
Douglas, I know it well.
But anyways, that's Sakho. So I suppose the next thing to discuss, I suppose, it was the fourth round of the EFL Cup, the draw for it. That Liverpool play Spurs at home on October 24th. Well, the ties will start on the week commencing October 24th. And of course, as I said in the news, that Everton will not play anyone as they were beaten.
Good man, John. You got that in there.
Absolutely. You had to get the little dig in.
God, I love that one.
I was hoping United would get beaten as well. Just some of the announcements just before we wrap up the show is Jurgen Klopp apparently is going to appear on Monday Night Football alongside Jamie Carragher tomorrow night, so that might be worth tuning into.
I heard that. That'll be interesting.
Definitely. And our next two games are Swansea away on October 1st, and that's at 12:30 p.m. And then we have the international break, and then we have Manchester United at home on Monday, October 17th at 8 p.m. Both games are televised on Sky Sports, and in actual fact, our next 6 games are televised between Sky Sports and BT. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks a million for coming on. It's nice to have a few people to bounce chat off and get a few different people's opinions. And thanks a million for joining. And again, I just want to reiterate that if anybody is in a position at all to contribute to the GoFundMe campaign that we've set up for Alfie O'Leary, the Give a Fan a Chance campaign, the link will be in the chat. It'll also be in the show notes underneath in the description, and it's also on our Facebook page. So if anybody can please contribute anything, no matter how small it is, every little will count towards the final total. And all money will be spent on giving Alfie the day that we hope he's able to enjoy. That's pretty much it for this evening. I'll post the link on our Facebook page for the show afterwards. And if anybody wants to get involved in the show at any stage, you can send us emails to talklfcpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments, we'll read them out on the show. Unfortunately, we didn't have any for this evening. We had plenty of activity in the chat, though, with Stephen and Sean and Debbie there as well. You can follow us on facebook.com/talklfcpodcast and twitter.com/talklfcpodcast. And you can also follow us on Spreaker. It's free to sign up for an account, and you can use your Facebook to sign up. So that's pretty much it from ourselves. We might talk to you maybe during the week, but most likely it'll be again next Sunday night at 7:30. So thanks very much for listening. Thanks, guys, for joining me.
Cheers. Thanks, Sean.
Thanks a million. Thank you for inviting us on, John.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you for listening to Talk LFC Podcast. Be sure to follow us at facebook.com/Talk LFC Podcast and on Twitter at twitter.com/Talk LFC Podcast. Get in touch with us by email at talklfcpodcast@gmail.com or via our website at www.talklfcpodcast.com.